Terry Hope Romero, and with the question, do you even lift, bro? Terry says yes.
Thank you. That was a great introduction. Thank you, everyone, for coming to Vegan. Oh, okay, I just did all this stuff to get this out of here. Okay, hi. Good morning. How you guys feeling? Woo! Okay, all right. Get excited. This is about getting active and physical and stuff. So, yeah. Energy, right? Okay, jumping. Okay, this is going to get really embarrassed. I made everyone stand when I talked. Everyone just sat down.
Burpees in a dress earlier, like
Right. So yeah, everyone's gonna be doing. We're gonna do there's gonna be a halfway, like yoga and push-ups break. A little burpees in the middle of this. All right. Well, let's just sit down and digest your chia pudding first. So this is Beyond Protein, vegan athletes and getting in shape and feeling great about yourself panel. And I will introduce our wonderful, super awesome, and knowledgeable panelists right now. So we're starting with Lacey Davis. Yes, woo! Her blog is Super Strength Health. She is a health coach and vegan fitness enthusiast teacher. So you teach people to be excited about vegan fitness. Yes, I love it. Okay. She likes to focus on veganism and body image. And she loves tacos and green smoothies. Yes, awesome. Next up, we have Christy Morgan, the blissful chef. Woo! Awesome. I know, right? I'm going to make a little rule before this. She's a registered dietitian. No, sorry, you are not. Sorry. You are, but someday you might be, okay? Seasoned personal chef. She's a cookbook author, blogger, food coach, and she is an alumni of Vida. Very much. She's also a certified personal trainer, and she is the editor of Definition Magazine, online magazine, right? Awesome. Yes. She's also a bodybuilder and organizes yoga and fitness retreats. Thank you. And lastly, we have Matt, I'm going to try to pronounce your name here, Rosigno.
Yep.
Rosigno, awesome. Matt Rosigno. His blog is True Love Health. And he is a registered dietitian and endurance athlete. Did anyone catch his? I caught your panel yesterday. It was awesome. Loved it. He loves science. Okay. He is co-authoring No Meat Athlete, and you helped out Issa with Appetite for Reduction. You're a nutritionist. Yes, awesome for that. Love it. Okay. And his latest project is a documentary web series, Strongest Hearts. Yes. Awesome. Fantastic. So let us not delay. Each one of our panelists has a short presentation about what motivates them and what they specialize in. All right? Who's up now? I think Lacey. This is very echoey.
In like a stadium rock kind of way. Does this sound better, like, with us just talking? I don't know. No?
Okay. You can hear me? It's good. Okay, great. Cool. So this slide says, I work out to strengthen my connection to myself, which I was kind of reading the description for the panel and some of the questions that we're going to get asked, and a lot of them were about competing or being in like top physical shape, and I am not at all a competitor, actually. Like, it's not anything that really gives me joy, so I thought it was really important to talk about fitness in the realm of like, not necessarily accomplishment, but just because it makes me feel good, it makes me feel empowered and strong, and some of you may know that I come from a background of eating disorder recovery, so I'm doing all of my fitness stuff through this lens of like trying to feel awesome, not trying to change something. And I think that's really important to talk about. So there's Matt. This is a drawing of a sad person who might want to exercise. You guys don't want to be this person. I think so often we're taught that there's a means to an end for fitness and that there has to be a physical goal. And there doesn't. And actually, I think it's really freeing and empowering to say that it's fine to just work out. Just cause. Not even to be healthy, not to be in perfect shape, not to be the best, but just because it can make you feel strong. And I think, for me, I found that the kind of exercise that makes me feel the strongest physically and mentally is weightlifting. I come from a background of like a lot of repetitive, intense, boring cardio, like the elliptical. And that for me was not empowering. felt like punishment or, like something I was doing because of something I ate or because I wanted a certain physical goal. And the deeper I get into my recovery, the more I realize I'm like really not about that. I definitely still have physical goals. Like I'm not immune to aesthetic concerns, and I don't think it's wrong or anti-feminist to like have a certain way that you think is cool to look. But for me, I think it is cool to look more muscular as opposed to more small. That's not a dig at people with smaller bodies. It's just what is good for me. So this is a picture of me doing a workout. I'm a CrossFit person. I guess I didn't really introduce myself very well. I'm also I'm a CrossFit person. I'm an Olympic lifter. My business is Super Strength Health, which is a health and wellness coaching service focused on body image and self-esteem. I do like meal plans and stuff, but that's not really my passion. What I really like to do is help people just feel better about themselves in general. Anyways, why I like this picture is because I remember when it was taken, and CrossFit workouts for those of you who don't know, everyone's doing the same thing, right? So like, you're aware when you're coming in last, and I consistently come in last, and that's okay. When this picture was taken, I was like acutely aware that I was not only coming in last, but by kind of a lot. Like I was probably going to be working out for 5 or 6 more minutes after everybody else was done, just watching me, being like, "Yeah, girl, get it." And I was stoked. Like I look at that picture and I'm like, I'm like really happy in that picture, and I feel like that's so divorced from other ways that fitness has been used in my life. So I like it. I thought it was cool. Thanks.
Next we have Christy. I'm kind of short, so hopefully this will work with my mouth here. Maybe I'll just hold it. So, for those of you who don't know me, I am a vegan chef, and I've always taught cooking demos and get people jazzed about cooking, and fitness was never really part of my life. A lot of people, especially when they go vegan, we are like, oh, we're going to get healthy, and maybe they associate it with losing weight or not. I've never had a weight problem. I never did it for that. I did it for the animals. But fitness doesn't seem to be explained, or it's not like, it doesn't seem like a big part of veganism or plant-based diets or anything like that. So I just didn't really care. One thing I did do is I did yoga. So I started doing yoga in college. I took it as a course in college, and I thought it was cool. This was in '98. It really was before it was kind of cool. And so I did that on and off for many years, but I never exercised. I despise cardio. I'll just say that right now. And basically when I turned 30 is when I was like, I should probably do something. Like I should probably exercise or do something like that. So I signed up for a triathlon and didn't really train that hard. I just did it. I wanted to complete the thing. It was done. I did it. I felt, yay, I did something. And when I turned 33, I started getting into bodybuilding. So that's where Lacey and I kind of connect. I had never really lifted weights. I started doing powerlifting, and it made me feel amazing. I was like, whoa. It took my health to a whole other place. Like I was already healthy, but just walking around in my body became easier. Like I don't know how many of you lift weights, but as women, we're often told that we shouldn't lift weights, or we shouldn't have muscles, or the cardio machines are where the women should be, and it's the men that are in the weight training area. So I decided to sign up for a bodybuilding show, which was probably the most awkward thing I've ever done in my life. But I felt like, and any of you who know about bodybuilding competitions, it really is the most bizarre and awkward thing people do. They get all spray tanned and they walk around in a bikini and heels, and it's just weird, right? But it was really exciting. It was empowering. It gave me a goal to work towards, but it also made me very obsessed with my body and the way I looked. And that was not healthy for me. That's what I discovered. So after that, I have gotten really skinny, and I'll show you in my next slide how thin I got. It was ridiculous. And when I got that thin, I was like, I don't want to be smaller. I want to be bigger.
I want to be more. I want to build some muscle. Like, I just really got attracted to that look. I was like, let's see if I can do this. And then as a vegan, being told that you can't build muscle as a vegan, that was another thing. I was like, I'm going to do this. I'm going to show you. So I started weight training heavily and training to build more muscle, and that was really exciting. And before that, I did my second triathlon, because I thought, well, I need to do another sort of competitive thing, but I'm not competitive. I'm not competitive. It's really difficult for me because you see all this fitness porn all the time, and it's really difficult because a lot of those people were athletes their whole life. So you shouldn't really compare yourself to those people. I mean, you can use it as inspiration, but there's a fine line. I'm the type of person where it just makes me feel bad about myself because I'm not competitive and I'm not the best at things. So I just do things because it feels good, like Lacey was talking about. I do things because it makes me feel good and not to be the best or be competitive, which is why bodybuilding is not for me. Because if you want to do bodybuilding, competitions at least, you have to want to be the best, I think. And I just don't care. I'm just not competitive. And my second triathlon, I actually trained a little bit. I was, older, 4 years older, and I got third in my age group, and I was like so excited. And then they told me there was only 6 people in my age group. So I was literally right in the middle, completely mediocre, and that was okay. That was okay for me. I was like, I'm right in the middle. Cool, no problem. I don't need to be the best. I just want to feel the best. And if my example can be inspirational to somebody else, that's cool too. If people look at me and think, oh, I can eat plants more, then that's cool, So that's basically where I'm at now. I got back into yoga because, like I said, doing this sort of more competitive stuff sort of made me feel bad about myself. So I decided to do yoga again, and really that centers me. That makes me, that's the only thing I can do that really shuts off my mind. It centers me. It's an internal thing, even though it's sort of competitive to people, it's really not. You can do yoga in your body no matter what. So now I'm kind of into yoga, and I just do everything. I like Zumba. I just admit that. I like kickboxing. I like to swim. I hate running, and I always will. But I love cycling. I sprained my ankle last year, and I started doing indoor cycling, and I fell in love with that. So I just exercise for health now. But I do think, okay, I'm going to show you all pictures of me in very little clothing. I'm somewhat embarrassed, but this is what I was talking about. When I was doing this bodybuilding show, I had gotten so thin. It was the smallest I'd ever been in my life. And when I got that small, I was like, I want to be more. I want to take up more space. And even though I'm still, very fit and lean, it was a different mindset for me, and it gave me more confidence. Lifting weights made me feel stronger. I was able to eat more. Who wants to eat more? I do. I love to eat. And I was able to eat more, and I didn't really have to count calories and all of that stuff I know there's men in this panel, and I'm sure you have your own situation, but for women especially, we are just constantly told to be less. Be less. How can you be less? How can you eat less? This is how much you should eat. And for me, weightlifting gave me this opportunity to be more. So for anybody who is in here who doesn't lift weights, I highly encourage you to try it. It's just awesome. And then you're in there with the dudes and you're grunting and you just feel really badass. So I encourage you to try it. And, I am happier now, 10 pounds more, and having muscle, and being able to carry all of my groceries from the car in one trip, and it's just functional stuff. Like Miyoko, such a badass. I featured her in my magazine last issue, and she talks about functional. She's training for life. Training for life is awesome because you want to be stronger, right? So that's why I think weightlifting rules. If you want to ask me or her or any of us any questions about that, we can talk about that. But another thing that I have become sort of a soldier for is just eating in general. Like, going back to what I was saying before, is we're always told to eat less, or you need to eat this, or, you know, magazines have these sensational headlines like, lose 10 pounds and get your beach body or bikini body, and I just hate that language, which is why I started a magazine that doesn't use that language. But a lot of, well, I don't know if you've seen like some famous bloggers, like they talk about 1,200 calories, or they have meal plans with 1,200 calories, and really, not many people should eat that little. Like, we need to not be afraid to eat more and to eat nourishing foods that gives us the energy we need to have a successful life. So one thing I'm sort of a warrior about is like getting women to eat and not be afraid to eat. So 1,200 calories is not a magic number. I don't know why, I don't know who invented that 1,200. Does anybody know? How did 1,200 calories become the magic number? But you guys have heard this before, right? Yeah. So it's not a magic number. There's very few people in the world should be eating that little. So I encourage you to eat the food. That's it.
Amen.
That was totally awesome. Matt is up next.
Hey everybody, thank you for having me on this panel. It's great to be here. So I'm a registered dietitian, and I like to say I'm a reluctant athlete because I grew up skateboarding and BMXing, and I didn't want to do jock shit. And I rode my bike cross country at 21 years old, and I thought, wow, this is so great and fun, and just like being active is very a fun thing. And that turned into cycling, and then I thought, man, triathlon, but those triathlete people, man, I don't want to be around them. And but I thought, you know, why not? I'm going to do it. It's a fun thing to do. I like swimming. I like running. I kind of have ADHD with physical activity. This is perfect. And I got into it, and I like extremes, like veganism. And veganism is pretty extreme to look at monosodium glutamate, right, on a thing. Monodiglycerides. Let me check my A to Z guide. And so I started to do triathlon, and then did my third, and then thought, wow, what else is there? And I found the world's hardest Ironman in Norway, where you swim in a fjord. And I thought, that sounds cool. And at no time do I think of myself as an athlete. I just think, I like to do fun stuff. And you get to jump off a ship to start the race. Like, I want to do that. And I go there, and I'm around all these very serious athletes, and like, I did a running cannonball. You know? And to me, that's what athleticism can be. And this was maybe 8 years ago, and at this point, this world of vegan athletes, of athletes and veganism, has really started to overlap, and we're going to talk about that. We have some questions. And to me, it's almost confusing, because I'm into this, obviously, as a dietitian and the science, and I have the background with the athletic stuff, but then I get invited to a Facebook group that's like, shirtless by summer, let's post our shirtless photos. Like, thanks, bro, but not for me, you know. And so it's something that we need to think about and consider and look at, you know, because these worlds are kind of colliding. And I'm still even a little embarrassed to be introduced as an athlete because I don't really identify with it, and maybe some of you can relate. I have some actual educational slides that we can get to later. I don't need to do a lecture here. This is one of them we can come back to. It's just that, hey, there are some benefits for plants. I do a lot of talks toward an omnivorous crowd. I get invited to speak at bike shops and athletic clubs, and my message is very hey, you can eat plants. You don't have to go straight to vegan tattoo. There's somewhere in between where you can eat plants. And many athletes are eating plant foods most of the time. You go to a running race and there's bananas, which are vegan. And it's not beef jerky and bacon, right? And so it's hey, you're already eating vegan foods, so you should know that you can eat vegan foods, right? So we can come back to that. But what I'd really like to talk about is a project I have called Strongest Hearts, where I work with a professional filmmaker named Sasha Perry. Sasha's been on Sea Shepherd and was an executive producer for Animal Planet for, what is the show called? It's slipping my mind. But the Sea Shepherd show on Animal Planet. And
Whale Wars.
Whale Wars, thank you. And we thought, Sasha said, I'm a filmmaker, you're a dietitian, and we know all these crazy vegans doing all this athletic stuff. We should make videos about them. And that's what we did. And so we do these like very short, under 20 minutes, because attention span. And we do educational stuff, and we see what they eat, and how they train, and we get what they do. We never say, look, if you're vegan, you can run as fast as Scott Jurek, because that's not the case, right? But we worked with a woman who's a professional cyclist and a PhD in philosophy. And so it's like she's a great perspective of what it's like to race in Europe as an American and vegan. And so we did a video about her. It's a mini documentary. So here's a screenshot. We worked with Jack Lindquist. At the time he was training for the Olympics. He was on a very long list, but still a list, so he could go to the Olympics. And so we did an episode with him. As I said in my talk yesterday, he can deadlift like 500 pounds, which means you just bend down and pick up 500 pounds off the ground, which is insane. And so we shot an episode with him and some other track racers, including a national champion that's vegan, which is very cool. So our perspective on this is like, hey, look, they're doing it. Check this out. And we try to make it interesting for a larger crowd. And so this is a project that it's very near and dear to my heart. So I'd like everyone to know about it because it's free. And you can share it with your friends and be like, look, you can get enough protein. Look at this kind of jockey guy and how much he can lift. Also, this is another project I work on is with dietitians that promote vegetarianism, and we have these handouts that are available, and we have one on sports nutrition. Actually, I have some copies here somewhere that I can have available at some point of this actual handout. And so it's great, it covers the science, it's everything you need to know, because there is science about vegan sports nutrition. And so that's all I have for my intro, and look forward to all your questions.